Friday morning. Rise and shine, my friends. I am first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together every day, 7 days a week, to chat about what's going on in the world of weather. My Stella's here with my full and undivided attention, and then it's back to you. I hope you're having a great start to the day. We've got, of course, the Coffee Talk drive-through today, and this is going to be fun. We've got another meteorologist joining us. Carolyn Upham will be joining us here in just a couple of minutes. But before we get to meet her and see what's going on as she takes the drive-through, we are going to take a look and see what's doing this morning. A little bit of patchy fog. My son this morning asked, "Daddy, why is there fog out?" And I said, "Well, a little bit of extra moisture, son." And he just kind of said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because it's 85 degrees in December, son." Yeah, we're kind of in an interesting little weather scenario. It's a beautiful setup. Alex has been changing the cameras around. You can see that's now Daytona Beach. It's looking very, very good. Temperatures are very comfortable across Central Florida. Dew points have come up. The moisture has built a little bit. 66 in Orlando, 63 degrees over in Daytona Beach, 61 in Ocala, and we're at about 65 degrees back over to Melbourne. Dense fog advisories in effect for North Florida and into Georgia. For us, it's just little pockets of fog. You can see Ocala's visibility down to a quarter mile. Orlando's at 10, Sanford's at 10. Those are areas that have seen fog a little earlier. Happy that things are getting a little better for them. But for some of us, our morning commute is going to be impacted by some fog. My brother Frank's in the room. Good morning to you. Denise, Carla, good morning. Eric, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Pat, Darlene, Jan, Jamie over on YouTube, good morning. Yeah, we stream to Wesh's Facebook, to my Facebook, to my Twitter, and to my YouTube channel. And just a reminder, by the way, we also do our afternoon thing. We're trying it out to see if we like it. It is the afternoon pick-me-up. It's at like 3:30 every day. See if you like it. See if you don't. I figure it's a little bit of weather information, right before you're getting off of work and all that fun stuff. That's at least the goal there. Just to give you a little quick snippet, a mini coffee talk of sorts. And then, of course, Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi has his evening Facebook Live, although it's not called Coffee Talk. It could be called Adult Beverage Talk or Wine Talk. Call it whatever you want. First warning, Doppler radar, nice and quiet. Now, the winds tell the story of the forecast. The last couple of days, it's been like straight east. We've been grabbing that moisture, bringing it ashore. We're starting to turn more southeast, and that southeast wind flow is going to help to warm our temperatures up little by little. So for today, it's going to be a little warmer than yesterday. Here's a look at our 12-hour forecast. Back to about 81 by 1 o'clock, but we'll get to 84, 85 degrees this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies. I think it's going to be a nice and dry forecast for today. The next big thing is going to be, well, we've kind of got two things, okay? So today, tomorrow, we're in a nice warm scenario, but as our area of high pressure that's giving us these kind of southeasterly winds moves out, we're moving in a front. Now, this one's going to offer up a few showers this weekend. So a lot of people have been asking, how does the weekend forecast look? The temperatures are looking dynamite, but we do introduce a few showers to the mix. So your Saturday, like today, mid-80s, mainly dry day. Your Sunday, as that front is knocking on our northern doorstep, we start to get in a couple of showers. We're going to raise that rain coverage to about 30% and go with a high temperature of about 83. The showers, the clouds kind of drop that. Then we get into the interesting scenario, right? Monday, and we talked about this yesterday on Coffee Talk and on the afternoon drive-through, or what is it called? I can't even keep all these stinking names straight. The afternoon pick-me-up. For tomorrow, especially Sunday, we're going to start watching the Gulf of Mexico. Because out in the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of Texas, we're going to start watching a storm system forming. Okay? Now, not tropical in nature. Water temperatures are just too cool. But it is going to be arriving, and as it does, it is going to specifically, when we get into this warm air sector, that green, that's rain. The red line that you see, that's a warm front. The blue line, of course, is a cold front. So anytime we get a scenario like this where we kind of find ourselves in the warm air sector, see, and I know I'm talking a little more sciencey because I've got Carolyn on the line, and I'm like, I just want to know that I just want to show that I'm cool too, Carolyn. So anyway, we'll talk about that. But once we kind of find ourselves into this soupy air mass, and the models have been kind of adjusting the timeline on this, which they're going to. We have the risk of not only getting lots of rain and thunderstorms even, but there could be an opportunity for stronger storms and severe weather. We have to wait and see kind of how the dynamics look, if the winds veer with height, whatever the case may be. But bottom line is this. This weekend, Saturday is going to be the pick. Sunday we'll start to see a few showers. And then into Monday, Tuesday, we're going to get into more and more of an opportunity for thunderstorms, and some of them could even be strong. And, we saw indication of this a few weeks ago when we were eyeballing the long-range forecast. Okay? Now, that's okay because it's before Christmas, right? I feel like my chair's not high enough. There we go. I feel like I'm a lowrider. That's before Christmas and after this rocket launch. We've got the Turksat rocket launch, 10:58 p.m., Wait a minute. Friday? Is it? I didn't think it was tonight. Was it tonight? I have to double check that. I feel like it was moved to Saturday. I'm almost positive that it was moved to Saturday. Ignore that. At any rate, the point is our forecast is looking great, and we're going to have the opportunity for outdoor plans today and for tomorrow. But you notice Sunday into Monday, there are those few showers. That front will drop the temperatures. And then on Tuesday, that's when that storm system arrives, bringing up those thunderstorms, but making way for a really nice Wednesday and a really nice Thursday. So let's just eyeball here. This is the GFS model, okay? And I've got it on the wider perspective, as I like to do when we're talking about travel stuff. So today we're looking good. There's that next frontal boundary. That's 9Z on Sunday. So you're talking about early Sunday morning. That's 4 a.m. I'll be awake, getting ready for West 2 News sunrise. But you can kind of watch how it moves in, bringing us the green. So there's the showers. That's 3Z Monday, which is technically 10 p.m. Sunday. And then look off the coast of Texas. You see those dark greens? That's that moisture really starting to get going. Then it moves our direction. That's 15Z on Tuesday. That's 10 a.m. Tuesday. Moving in. Now, the European, the GFS, the timing is shifting this direction and this direction. But, yeah, it looks like Monday into Tuesday, we'll be watching that moisture. My brother says, wait, the graphics guy didn't update a graphic. I'm off today, Frank. I depend on the meteorologist in the office, and I just don't know if Alex Alisi did it or not. I don't know. I have to double check it. And because I don't know, I thought that I saw that it got moved, which was a last second thing. So, anyway. Let's see here. Bruce, so Monday may be okay for Santa outside? I hope so. It looks like it's going to be more of a Tuesday rain event. And then afterward, as that moisture pulls away, it looks like a nice drop in the thickness levels up and down the mid-Atlantic. It looks like we've got a really nice stretch of weather. That's Christmas Eve, we're looking nice. And then Christmas Day, we're looking nice. Notice Christmas Day. You see that? That's some winter precipitation. West Virginia getting up into Pennsylvania. Yeah, might have a white. According to this, and see, again, models are guidance, not gospel. And it's easy for me to say because I'm in Florida. But could we have a white Christmas to some folks in the Northeast? This is 18Z, which is 1 p.m., Saturday the 25th. There's an indicator of some winter-ish weather up there. So, very interesting. I like that. Chris, my bride says I don't listen and something. Yeah, I think mine could probably say the same thing. Oh, well. Anyway, it's time to weather nerd up, my friends. Excuse me. Joining us now in the Coffee Talk drive-thru, Carolyn Upham. Carolyn, a meteorologist herself. Good morning to you.
Oh, the dog's wondering what's going on.
That's okay. Hey, Pop. Good morning. Carolyn, good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Talk drive-thru.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Let's get to know you a little bit. I keep saying you're a meteorologist, but You did say you were. So tell me a little bit about who you are and tell all of us a little bit about who you are.
I was born and raised in Massachusetts, except for 6 crucial years. We lived in Ohio.
Uh-oh.
And that's where I got my love of the severe weather. And that's what led to my becoming a meteorologist.
I love that. So okay, so we moved to Ohio. Where in Ohio?
Just outside of Cleveland.
Oh, okay, very cool. So you got the severe weather there that maybe you didn't have in New England, and that drove you into being a weather weenie. And from
Yeah.
there, you pursued education. Where did you go to school for meteorology?
University of Massachusetts at Lowell.
And was severe weather your main focus, or did you expand out and take interest in other pieces of the weather pie?
Well, it was just sort of generalized weather at the university. Um, I ended up getting a job with MIT Lincoln Laboratory and did a lot of research using Doppler weather radars
Mm.
and eventually satellite uh, sensors. And so kind of got away.
Interesting. Okay, well, so then I have to ask you, knowing Doppler radar and knowing satellite sensors, how do you think that technology has moved over the last few decades in terms of utilizing dual pole radar? And I don't know, like, how keyed into let me ask that first. How keyed into like weather technology are you still, or not at all?
Not at all, really.
Okay, yeah. So
Haven't been in about 10 years.
gotcha. Okay, so are you familiar with like dual polarization radar?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, has it been an interesting journey watching over the last few years how this radar technology that was developed, almost 100 years ago, right? How scientists and engineers have been able to expand that out to be able to look at particles in the air and things like that?
Yeah, I find it really fascinating how they're able to utilize the current technology that they have, the current equipment, which is beginning to age. I mean,
Yeah.
the NEXRADs are WSR 88D,
Yeah.
and D is the 88 is for 1988.
Right.
So I do find it fascinating that they're able to use kind of the older equipment and modify their algorithms and modify the equipment to keep it up to speed.
I agree, and it's funny because when I started in television, I didn't I understood I understood I understood the science of Doppler radar, but it wasn't until I was really diving deep that I understood the engineering of it. Because so the National Weather Service radar that Carolyn's mentioning, WSR Weather Service Radar 88 is the year that they put them out, and then D stands for Doppler, right? Just so that everybody's on the same page. The radar at WESH is the oldest television radar in Central Florida. And so when I started using it, I said, man, we're going to have to rip this thing off the roof because it's old. And then as you start and as you start learning what they've done for upgrades, and we've continued to upgrade, it's like, yeah, the dish itself was put up there in like, what, I think it was 95. The WESH radar is 95, but like, everything else is brand new. All the signal processors and all of the, the magnetron and all this is all new. So anyway, it's I as well. I think it's fascinating, especially when I got a chance to when the Melbourne National Weather Service radar was down for the dual polarization upgrade, they let television meteorologists go into it. And just to go into the ball, and their radar is bigger than the television station radars. And I don't care if you watch WESH or another station, like the Weather Service radars are bigger because they're S-band, and that's just, it needs a bigger dish. Anyway, to see how big this thing is, it's like, holy cannoli, this thing is monstrous. Anyway, all right, enough about weather nerding. So how did you make your way down to Florida? Tell us a little bit about that part of your journey.
Well, unfortunately, my husband passed away in 2017, and we had uh, a house on a very large lot with a very long driveway, and I got tired of snow blowing 18 inches of
Sure.
snow all
Sure.
by myself. So I came down to visit my sister. I think it was in 2018, and it was April. I had to snow blow 3 weeks earlier,
Oh, wow.
and it was green, and it was warm, and it was sunny. It was like, ah, I'm moving here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an easy sell. I'm sorry to hear about your husband. It is an easy sell, especially in the winter time. So how did you find Coffee Talk?
My nephew actually turned me on to Coffee Talk. He's been living in Florida for over 10 years now, and
Mhm.
he uh, he hooked me up to Coffee Talk. And actually, when I first started watching, I was back up in Massachusetts helping my mother out,
Yep.
because she'd been sick in the spring, and she's 93 years old. So she needed a little help, so I went
Sure.
back up there.
Sure, sure, sure. So have you paid much attention to our long range forecasting stuff at all?
I have.
What do
I
you
find it very interesting. I find it that low that's kind of bubbling up, or forecasted to bubble up,
Yeah.
um, really matches something that was on the BSR.
Well,
And,
and
and
I
it's fascinating.
let me find this. I sent this to Manolfi yesterday. So based on the LRC, the cycling weather pattern, and I'll show this to everybody else too, just because even if I wasn't talking to you, I would be showing this. Hold on a second. I went, so if this year's LRC cycle is 60 days, if you go back 60 days, let me pull up my text message. Bear with me because I want to show this to you. Tony Manolfi, where's your text, Bubba? Okay. So if we go back the October 23rd. All right, let me show you October 23rd. Hold on a second. October 23rd. See, as soon as you said you were a meteorologist, I'm like, oh, we're going to be nerding. We're going to be nerding up here a little bit. And I'm sorry about
Everything's
that.
good.
All right, October 23rd. Okay, so this is the 500 millibar for October 23rd. Okay. Notice that little trough off the coast of Texas.
Yep.
Okay, watch. Let me move it to the next day. There's the next day. It's kind of hanging out just south of Louisiana. Next day. Kind of moving up into the Big Bend of Florida area. And there's, a nice upper level low over the Great Lakes. And so I would just be willing to bet that we're going to have a nice upper level low. Look at that right there. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Anyway, there's that low. There's the upper level low. So it's it's one of those things as a weather nerd, as a meteorologist, it has definitely caught me off guard and it has definitely taken my attention. And I know I talk a lot about it, but hearing from you, I'm very interested just to see what you think of this idea of cycling weather patterns.
I haven't researched it that much. Definitely getting all the info I can from Coffee Talk, from what you're presenting. It's funny, for the longest time when you were showing the BSR graphics, it took me a while to realize that, oh my gosh, that's the Kamchatka Peninsula.
Yeah.
on the map. And so then, ding, 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 the lights went off. And, then I realized what you were doing, and it started making more sense.
Yeah, it's using those non-standard things that can be tools, like everything. It's like computer models are guidance, not gospel. All of this kind of plays into the bigger picture. Well, listen, I'll send you an email of the peer-reviewed paper that Gary put together on the LRC. It's fascinating. I mean, it really is, because it gives a blueprint. And then from there, you have to take into account, oscillations and all these other influencers. But it gives you that idea, and and that's how I can kind of it's how I can tell that going into January we should shift much colder, and how, weeks ago we already knew that this Christmas week would start a little wetter and then kind of get into a cooler stretch as well, because it happened already in the last cycle in October. So anyway, it's interesting stuff. By the way, folks, you can ask Carolyn questions. Would love to get your thoughts. Betty says, good morning. Isn't it amazing how talented our members are? We're in mighty good company. It is so true. What do you do for fun, Carolyn? Now that you're down in sunny Central Florida, what do you do for fun in life?
Ooh, fun. Walk the dog. My sister and I like to go driving around the area.
Yeah.
To just check out all the neighborhoods, and we like going to Lake Louisa State Park. I'm in Davenport, so haven't gone to many of the attractions. Only been to Epcot once since I got down here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Of course, COVID kind of played a factor in that.
Yeah. Have you gotten a chance to see any launches up close?
Not up close, but I do like the fact I can go to the end of my driveway and watch them.
Yeah, I did get a text message from Heather, my friend over at the Cape. She says
tomorrow.
Launch is targeting Saturday. See, I knew. Saturday, 2-hour window opens at 10:58 p.m. So there you go. Let's see here. Question, Carolyn, how long have you lived in Florida? We already discussed that. Any other, let's see here. Carolyn, get passes to parks. I would love to be able to say, Carolyn, we've got sponsored for Disney. Coffee Talk is on a shoestring budget. You know what I mean? Jennifer's asking, where did you move from?
That's kind of weird. I sold my house 3 years ago. Well, put it on the market 3 years ago. And it's easier if you don't have a dog and a cat when you're trying to sell a house.
Yep.
So I actually moved in with my mother.
Yep.
And I was living in Townsend, Massachusetts, which is north central Mass.
Yeah.
And my mother lives in Reading, which is in the Boston area. And so I was with her for 5 months. And then I used to have a summer camp up in New Hampshire.
Oh, fun.
So for the summer, I went up there. And then in October of 2019, I moved down here, and kind of been bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
But sold the place in New Hampshire, so I hope I am down here for good.
We are very glad to have you, and I'm sure the term snow shovel is something you would rather never discuss.
Well, it's funny. It came across my Facebook news feed that a year ago they got about 36 inches of snow.
Oh my God.
Where I had my place in New Hampshire. And that was one of the big reasons why I wanted to sell, because I don't want to be down here and have 36 inches of snow on my place up there.
Yeah,
it's just too much to deal with.
I can't even imagine. And I've only ever lived in Florida, right? So like you've lived in cold weather climates for most of your life. I can't imagine when you say 36 inches of snow, and I get the ratios and all that, but I just can't even wrap my head around what it's like to say, okay, it's time to go out to the Stop and Shop or whatever the grocery store is. It's like, oh, hold on, I need an hour where I bundle up and I sweat profusely inside the jacket because I've got a snow shovel. And then once you get out to the streets, hope they're salted. Right?
Right. Well, my driveway was about 150 feet long.
Right, exactly.
So
you specifically.
It's not even an hour. It's like an afternoon.
And how often would you have to do that?
I would just go out and do it at the end of the storm.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to have to deal with it multiple times. And, if it had been 36 inches of cement, would have done it more often. But usually when you get that much, it's the like fluffy stuff.
Right. Were you shoveling that, or did you have like a snow blower?
I had a snow blower.
Yeah, because
it's weird. So about 11 days after my husband passed away, he passed away on the first day of spring.
Mm-hmm.
April 1st, we got a snowstorm. And so I'm out there with a snowblower,
Yeah.
and the linkage for the transmission went. So I'm like, all right, now what do I do? So ran, got the duct taped it back together, got it going. And so, yeah, that was fun.
And he's up there laughing, saying, "Hey, you're doing good down there. You're doing good."
I hope so.
Jenny's asking, "Do you miss the colder weather?" Interesting.
I don't miss the dark winter days. And I do kind of miss snowstorms. I mean, they're fun when you're inside where it's warm,
Yeah.
watching them. Do not miss the cleanup.
Yep.
Um, and really, it just seemed like the winters had gotten so dark up there.
Yeah.
And I don't say that I have seasonal affective disorder. It's more like sunshine affective disorder.
Yeah.
If it were a sunny, cold winter day, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But when you have day after day of dark, ugh.
I can't, and again, I can't wrap my head around it. When Cam Tran, one of our meteorologists, moved down from Pittsburgh, she had said that Pittsburgh is one of the cloudiest cities in the country. And then meteorologically, when she explained it to me, I'm like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But she talked about how it would be weeks of cloud cover and not seeing the sun. And I'm just thinking to myself, if I go like 3 or 4 days without the sun shining, I am I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle it.
I worked with a guy from England who he didn't like it when it was sunny for multiple days in a row.
What?
And he actually, if we didn't get rain every day, he's like, oh, this is a desert.
But it's what you're used to. It's what you're accustomed to, right? Catherine says, welcome to Florida. There are a lot of wonderful off-the-beaten-path places to visit to enjoy the natural beauty of Florida. City, county, state parks, zoos, small towns. It's very true. Betty says, we had 18 inches of snow one year in Cincinnati, and I thought I would never get done shoveling. Can you imagine 30-plus inches? I can't.
Actually, the worst winter weather we ever had was an ice storm back in 2009. And so we lost power for 5 days, and we were kind of one of the fortunate ones. And on day 5, I got home from work, and my husband was already there. And the truck's in the driveway with the hood up a little bit, and I see a power cord running from under the hood into the house. He had put an inverter onto the truck and was running power into the house, and when I got out of my car, I could hear Genesis blaring from the living room. So I knew then we needed to buy a generator.
Is that where you learned to duct tape the drivetrain or the transmission?
Yeah, he was Mr. Inspector Gadget,
There's
MacGyver and everything.
There's a place in the world for that. I love it. I really do. Let's see here. Susie says, you and my daughter, the duct tape queens. I love that. Eric says, snowstorms are fun when you don't have to shovel and you don't lose power. And I would venture to say that, Carolyn, for me, being a Floridian, snowstorms are super fun when you're in them because you know you're coming back to Florida.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, if you can get a flight out, I mean,
yes.
Who knows how long you might be delayed on that.
But eventually you will, and eventually you'll be able to come back to the sunshine. Like, eventually you're not going to be going through it's not going to be February where the snow is just disgusting, dirty, and you're over it.
So what's the biggest snowstorm you've seen?
So this is a funny story, and I don't know that I've ever been truthful about this to anybody. I was interviewing for a job at WCBS in New York City. This is years and years and years and years ago. And I was interviewing for a job. There was it was like a 1-2 punch. It was a massive snowstorm. And I remember during my interview, they were grilling me on the meteorology. And I remember like reading college textbooks on the flight up there to prepare myself. And David Friend was the news director at WCBS at the time, and he said to me, if you're stuck at the airport, we'll extend your stay and you can come off camera, help out during the weather. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I have no desire to do that. And I got, my flight was canceled. They put me on Spirit. Thanks, WCBS. And I, for whatever reason, I was able to sneak into there was one seat that I was able to get out of. And I just remember I had already called out of work, and yeah, I'm on vacation, quote unquote, in New York, and I'm stuck, because there was a massive snowstorm. I flew out as it was really starting to get bad. So I can't say that I've seen any bad snowstorms. It was getting there, but I was probably one of the last 10 flights out before they closed LaGuardia Airport that day.
So a little light reading. You probably can't tell it. It's the Synoptic Dynamic Meteorology in Mid-Latitudes by Howard Bluestein.
I know the name Howard Bluestein. I've got some of those books. I'm looking. So here's a book. Hold on. So we'll have to get you this book as I walk over to this is the Central Florida Weather, Hurricanes, and Great Freezes book.
Oh,
Great Freezes. Because that's our big thing. Yeah. Bluestein. I know I've had some textbooks. I don't see any on my bookshelf because my brother, when he got to college, I wanted to save all my weather textbooks so that I could have, in my office. My brother started selling them when I was done with the classes. So half of my college textbooks are gone.
Well, what I miss are my notes.
Yeah.
Because I taught for 3 semesters at my alma mater.
Oh, wow.
And by that point in time, for some reason, we had saved my husband's notes. I don't know why. And gotten rid of mine. And mine were meticulous.
Oh, wow.
And so when I started teaching, I was like, I want my notes back.
Was he also a weather guy, a meteorologist?
Yes, he was also a meteorologist. Wow. And, well, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but there's an anemometer on the top of our wedding cake.
Oh, I love that. That's nerd. I love it. Tell us about your shirt. You see, it says rescue. Tell us about the shirt.
The other part is rescue. You can't see it. My favorite breed of dog.
Yeah.
So, almost 12 years ago, my husband and I rescued a dog he came up from Tennessee,
mm-hmm.
and his name is Bonnaroo. He was named after the music festival in Tennessee, and he's just been great. He's much crazier than the golden retriever we had before that.
Whoa, is that even possible?
Crazier than a golden retriever? Oh yeah.
What breed is he?
Heinz 57.
Love it. That's my Stella too.
This is a weird mixture. American Staffordshire Terrier, German Shepherd, Rottweiler, Labrador, Collie, and some other stuff.
Wow. Well, Bonnaroo sounds like a perfect fitting name for the breeds as well, the breed mixture.
Yeah, he's crazy.
All right. Well,
he's currently lying on the pee pads that cat uses because she has decided the litter box is not her thing anymore.
We're done with that. My Stella, also almost 12 years old. Gosh, she's almost 12. She turns 12 in like a few weeks. I Gavolt. She's just laying at my feet. My adopted puppy. Your adopted puppy. I love it. Would you do us the honors of giving the forecast?
Sure.
It's all you.
Thank you. So we're continuing with the above average temperatures through the weekend, with also increasing chances of precipitation. By Monday, temperatures start to decrease, and on Tuesday, I'm hoping that we get a nice thunderstorm for me, because that's what I love the most.
Oh, yeah.
After that, the temperatures go back down to the normal range and the sun reappears.
Finally. And I think it'll hold as well right up to Christmas, which
I hope so.
that would be great. I wouldn't mind that. Do you have anything? Do you have anything else to? Do you have any questions for me?
I'm just going to show off and we'll see how well it shows up. Everything seems to be blurry, but this is the microbarograph I got from my husband for his first Christmas.
That's
our first Christmas together.
Awesome. That's awesome.
We're a couple of geeks.
You know, I want to have all of those things. I'm trying to, as you can see, like as I've adjusted my office around, I need to put some neat pictures on the wall. And I was thinking of hurricane pictures, a nice map or something. I need to come up with something cool. And my goal is to just fully nerd out with my two loves, aviation and weather, put together. I might have to get one of those and put it on a bookcase.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
It's usually up there.
Yeah.
Up there.
Do you have any questions for me or for any of the other coffee talkers?
Not that I can think of.
Well, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you for hanging out for the Coffee Talk drive-thru.
Thank you.
We'll hopefully have a really nice forecast for the holidays, and yeah.
No snow.
I can promise the no snow. I can with zero question I can promise the full snow or the no snow. Carolyn, thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk.
Thank you.
Really nice to meet you. All right, my friends. That's it for Coffee Talk today. As Carolyn said, we've got a very nice forecast today, a nice warm forecast. Temperatures climbing into the mid-range of the 80s. There are a few sprinkles, though, on Sunday. I would say if you're wanting to be out and about for sure, you got to do it Saturday, because Sunday, that's when we're going to be watching that front. And then again, Monday into Tuesday, we start transitioning into a bit of a weather pattern that features showers, maybe even a thunder shower or so, maybe even a stronger storm. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But don't fret if you're saying to yourself, I'm wishing for a white Christmas, while you're not getting that. You might get a little cooler weather. So Monday, Tuesday, that builds into it, right? And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday for Christmas Day. Yeah, we've got a really nice stretch of weather. All right. That's it for Coffee Talk this morning. We will be chatting much more about your holiday forecast on the afternoon pick-me-up. Is that what we're calling it? Yeah, the afternoon pick-me-up. We'll do it about 3:30. All right. Let me know what you think about it. In the meantime, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. And of course, Carolyn, thank you so much for chatting. It was great meeting you and chatting with you. We'll do it again next week. All right. Be good, everyone.